your leg.
Okay, welcome to Regenerate, Don't Degenerate.
He's already worn me out.
Sorry about the false start. It was wanting me to, I think it was showing us sideways. You know, nothing's perfect, right? Hey, we're all warmed up. We had a great walk. Hopefully you were able to do some warm. Now, hopefully, please pause. Do some warm up. You need to be warmed up. Once again, where'd my water go?
Right there.
Oh, it's right here. Okay, be hydrated, okay? And if you're used to having a little bit of pain medication on board, hopefully you got it on board before we got started so that you're not, sorry, my cameraman didn't get the camera adjusted to begin with today. So, we're warmed up, right? We're ready to go. This is our Friday. We're going to be doing balance. So, nothing really hard, but balance is important. You notice we've done 5 different things during the week, all of them contributing to the same result, that you're going to get in great shape, you're going to feel fantastic, you're going to be able to do more, and you're going to regenerate. So we're going to start off today. If you need a chair to sit in, you can sit in the chair. Now, she's going to show, Rinda is going to show the adaptations for setting.
Are you going to show your feet?
And I'm going to do my best to show feet.
So we're going to need to move it down. And I'll scoot back a little.
Okay. Showing you my cue card there. Not what I'm intending to do. So I think I can see my feet now. Okay, super. You can see us all. So we're going to do a single leg stance. If you need to be propped on the chair, do that. If you're setting, this is a little tougher.
I'll just figure it out. You show me what you're doing.
Okay. We're going to pick up one leg and we're going to stand here for a while, okay? We're just standing on one foot. So we're...
Now, what I'm finding is it's putting pressure on this, so just support this, because this is the one you're trying to put the balance to.
So it's a little bit of practice when you're setting. It's not that you're balancing and standing, but you're working those muscles some. Hopefully you're pushing down with that
I'm pushing
foot.
on this one.
So that's going to help a lot, okay?
And if you don't want to hold this up, then just set it there, but don't put weight on it. Put the weight on this one.
Now the progression with this is as you get better and better at it, is you can let go and kind of stand. See, one foot is a challenge, right? Okay, let's switch feet.
And understand that if you're on carpet, it's much harder to balance because it's soft underneath you. If you go to a solid floor, you'll be so surprised at how much better your balance is.
We'll talk about that a lot. I mean, non-compliant surfaces can have a big issue on your balance.
Non-compliant
surfaces.
Surfaces, like floors.
So floors. Or cushioned soles in your feet, your shoes. If you're using that and you need that for comfort, that's great, but know that it affects your balance. So you've got to find a balance in
Find a balance in your balance.
It's important, but realize that some of your tipsiness may be the result of the types of shoes that you're using. Okay, we can go down both feet now. So the next thing we want to do is this is going to be a movement exercise, so she's going to adapt it. This is going to be heel to toe. So we're going to do what we can to stand heel to toe, and then we're going to walk heel to toe, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to move my chair this way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to sit forward on my chair, and I am going to put my feet like this, and then I'm going to put my feet like this.
And rocking forward into them. So heel to toe, heel to toe. Sorry, the internet dropped. It hasn't been real good here lately. So you can walk around the chair, do the walking around the chair, hanging on to it. That's one way if you need that extra balance support. And?
Well, no, that's great. If you can stand up and walk around your chair, then do that.
Yeah, keep a hold of it.
If you don't need to, then Jim, just show them how to do it, not with any adaptation.
Once again, if you're here,
just tightrope walk.
You're doing a tightrope walk. Okay, once again, the carpet is a bit of an issue. The next one is going to be called rock the boat. Okay, so I'm going to lean to the left side enough that I'm taking this other foot up off the floor. Okay, and I'm going to go back on the other foot, lean the other way.
Somebody's trying to talk to me.
Going to go back and forth.
Everybody should lean the same way as you.
Yeah, that would help. Thanks for being there.
You're so welcome. Here, allow me. We'll hold hands.
There we go. Hold hands and stick close together. Okay,
and
there
I'm
we
putting
go.
weight on one foot and then the other foot. And I'm kind of lifting my cushion because balanced sitting is important too.
Okay, the next one is going to be clock reach, and there's some adaptations we can go. So we're going to imagine that we have 12 o'clock up here, 3 o'clock here. No, I'm sorry. We have 3 o'clock here, 6 o'clock there, 12 o'clock there.
Oh,
and then
okay.
I don't know what o'clock this is if we're straight up.
Okay.
But we're going to take our hands and we're gonna try.
So once
positions.
again, remember if you can only do to here. So you're coming
do
down.
what you can do. Now that's great. We're doing it with 2 feet. Let's change that and let's. Oh, go ahead.
So what did you do the whole exercise so I can see?
No, we're just going in a different position. So we're just kind of shifting our weight around a bit. Now to add a little bit of dimension to that, we're fighting. Wow, that's no big deal. We're gonna put our feet lined up like this to where and then we're gonna try the same kind of movements. A little bit more of a challenge, right? So.
And again, watch your shoulders when you're doing this. If you need to move your whole body, move your whole body.
Let's switch our feet around. If we were like this, we're going to go like this now, okay?
And I'm not really doing feet if I'm just sitting. I'm just doing my arms.
And, if your point of keeping you balanced is what you're sitting on instead of what you're standing on, that's fine. That's what we're working on is working on convincing our balance that we need to have it working for us. But shifting our weight around shifts our balance, which is it's a great work for us to do. Okay, this one is a stand-up kind of thing, and all of us will probably have to use a bit of a chair. But we're going to grab the chair, we're going to lift our leg. We're not bending our knee and we're not pointing our toe, but we're just lifting our leg. Okay?
All right, so if you're on a side chair and you can just put your leg back, do that. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm just doing this.
Now, this is not about balance. This is about strengthening your lower back, which, guess what? If you strengthen your lower back, that helps your balance. So it is about balance, but it's not causing you to be balanced. We're switching legs, doing the other leg now.
It does the back if you keep your core engaged.
So we're not bending our knee, we're not pointing our toes.
Unless you're sitting, and then I'm doing that. I am definitely bending my knee. And our chair squeaks.
Yes, it does. We're doing 15 of those. I don't know if you counted with me, but that's what I want to have.
Keep going.
Okay.
Just checking.
The next one here, I'm going to go on 2 sides of the chair. I'm not sure. We'll see what kind of magic Brenda can come up with. We're going to do a side leg raise. So the side that's away from the chair, we're going to raise it up.
Okay. So this one, I want you to raise your leg up and just move it out like this.
We're going to do 15 of these.
In order to do this, you want to really tighten around your knee. This is also an incredible exercise for strengthening the muscles around the knee. When I was in knee therapy, I think Jim told you before, I hurt my knees really bad and was in therapy for a long time. It was these kind of exercises where you're going to strengthen that around the patella that is going to make that knee stronger and less pain.
Let's shift you a little bit to the left. So I have room without hitting the wall. I have to go a little further. Our studio is not quite big enough for us. Okay, we go on the other side. Once again, we're not bending in our knee and we're not trying to point our toe. We're just taking that leg straight up. And what Rita was saying about the knee getting strengthened, knee's important to balance, isn't it?
Knee's important to climbing stairs, to getting up, to sitting down, everything. most of my patients were like, oh, every time they sat or got up or got down. And I used to be like that. I have no knee pain now.
Yeah, it's just really a matter of working at it till, you know, I only have one gadget here for this next one. For this next one, I'm going to get down so you can see what I'm doing. This is really, it's kind of more of a coordination thing than anything. You can use a broomstick without the broom on it, or a mop stick without the mop on it. And we're going to try to keep, kind of keep it upright here. So this is about us balancing something like this. Here, you try it.
Really?
I'm sitting down. See if you can do this.
Oh, fun! Whoa!
So try it with both hands. So you know, this is kind of an eye hand. I mean, it's about your hand working with you and, whoops, keeping things going. So, kind of a fun one, but it's really, it's having you balance yourself while you're watching this thing balance as well. Be careful that you don't walk yourself like that either, okay? But just a nice one to practice, kind of a fun one to do.
Oh, now I've got a challenge.
It's called the wand, okay? Balancing wand, okay? This next one is going to be very familiar. We all know about this. We all can do this one. It's called marching in place, right? We're going to add a little bit of dimension to this. We're going to say, pick those knees up high, right? Now, what is this doing for your balance? Well, you're working your legs, you're working your ankles, but by picking them up high, you're really shifting your weight around, aren't you? Okay. So as a result of getting that weight shifted around, then you're forcing your body to compensate and work with it.
Okay, so let me say, when I was sitting up with my core engaged and doing this, immediately put pressure on my lower back. So I went all the way back to the back of my chair and then do this. So you want to make sure your back is supported against the back of your chair. And I've got my hands down here, holding my body, upper body straight, and then I'm doing this. You do not want to hurt yourself. If you're hurting in the position that you're doing, you're in the wrong position. And that's what I just found out just this second by starting to do it.
And if we're doing too much for you, stop, rest, and then pick it up again before we get finished if you get rested in time. Take yourself to the point that it's still comfortable. Don't take yourself to where you're hurting yourself. This is not about hurting you. This is about enjoying yourself. And then next time saying, wow, you know, I fell over. The next, saying, hey, I feel good. This is helping me feel great. You're going to find, as you stick with this, that it's going to start being something you look forward to, really. It's going to feel good. You're going to feel better doing it while you're doing it. So you're going to want to do it more. I promise. That's how it works every time, but you got to stick with it.
And we're here with you because I've been pulled into this now by you guys, and I will commit.
This next one we've done in a few other situations, but because today is balance, we're going to do it now because it works in a lot of ways, but it is part of balance. So we're going to do our heel lifts, and then we're going to lift our toes. So we go up on our toes, lift up our toes. Up on our toes, lift up our toes.
And I'm just doing that on sitting down, but I again have my back against the back. Let me see what happens. I can do it at the front too, but make sure you're stabilizing yourself sitting down. Really hard to do the toes, the heels with that. Totally different moves. Okay, when I'm sitting down and I'm to the front, totally different feel to my legs. If I move back, it gets a different part.
Yes. Yeah, there are advantages to both, but if you're having low back problems, let's get those things moving with your back supported so you're not hurting it at all, for sure. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more. I was showing you this the other day. I'm going to go down here. Now, you may have to squat down to it, but we want to move our toes individually.
Okay, so I'm just going to set mine up.
We're trying to teach them how to move themselves.
How about if I pull it in close and watch you?
See if you can move your toes without touching them. Okay. So hold those in place. I can move my big toe. Can I move this one? So let's teach it. That's what it feels like to move. Can I move that one? Not very well. Teach it to move. Teach it to move. How about this one? Not at all. Teach it to move. Teach it to move. Get it moving. This guy, not at all. Oh, he's trying. Teach him to move. Teach him to move. Getting our toes to move is an important part of balance. Think about it as you're walking around. What are your toes doing? They're shifting. They're changing.
They like to get stubbed.
They like to get stubbed. But teach them to move to where they're used to doing it, and you'll get more mobility out of them, and that'll help your balance to where you're able to be better
Now,
balanced.
I'm going to say this. If you are completely immobile and you can't bring your leg up like I am, and if you go down here, you're going to fall over. Have somebody you love play with your toes and bring them up and down.
There you go. There you go. We're going to do some shoulder rolls now. So let's roll them forward. You don't have to go big ones. Just do what you can do. We're going to do a few of these. Then we're going to go the other direction. But we're rolling these shoulders. Now we're keeping our core engaged. And we are breathing. I'm sure we're still breathing, right? A couple more of these. 1, 2. Okay, let's go the other way. We're going backwards now. Okay, so what does this have to do with balance? Kind of a hard one to describe, but having our shoulders limber and strong, pliable, can help us in the movements we need to do for compensation. We're not stiff as we're moving because we've been used to moving them. So if there's an extreme situation and we've got to move that arm, got to move that shoulder to help with our balance, it's ready to go. What are you doing? Okay.
I was just showing that doing that allows.
So this next one, you want to pick that wall and I pick this wall? We're going to do the hand and finger thing. So we're going to start low and we're going to take our fingers and we're going to walk them up the wall. You can't see me, but you can see Rinda. She's walking up the wall as high as she can go. And then she's going to walk down the wall, just kind of moving her fingers like she's a couple of spiders.
So even the little finger?
All the fingers. You're trying to move all the fingers. Try to move them separate.
Whew. That puts a
Let's go down again and up again.
strain on a muscle
and
that you're not used to using.
Yeah.
Do you see how as homesteaders this would help so much? Because you're strengthening parts of your arms that you don't normally have strength in.
Huh. Here's one I thought was on here that I didn't have on here that I really want to do. Okay, I'm going to shift this a little bit because it's not on me over here. For those of you who say, well, I wish I could do push-ups, you may have seen this if you haven't. Come out from the wall a ways to where you have to lean into it to touch it and then lean into it. Okay, so now you're leaning into the wall and we're going to do push-ups on the wall. So just like you were doing a push-up, you go into the wall and back out. Into the wall and back out. How's that? So you're doing push-ups, right? Great start on push-ups. You're still getting a lot of the same muscles working, but this is also helping your balance a bit because you are leaning. You're holding yourself with your arms, so this is not your feet that are balancing you, but it's your arms that are helping your balance keep where you want it to be, right? Couple more. Let's do 2 more of these. 1, 2. So we did some push-ups today. Fantastic, right? The next thing we're going to do is some calf stretches. So this is going to look like a familiar position. We're going to now lean out, lean forward, but we're having our heel of our rear foot is firmly into the ground. And we're really pushing on that one as we lean forward. We're pushing with our rear foot. We're not pushing with our front foot. So we're getting more of a stretch in the calf than anything.
Okay, so I am doing that in the chair. I'm actually putting my weight on this one and pushing on this one, but I'm pushing down here. This is where I'm feeling the stretch. Depending on your mobility, you may or may not be able to do this modification sitting in your chair. You may just need to do what we did yesterday where you just push down here and stretch this out.
Okay, let's switch sides. Same thing. Heel firmly on the ground. Lean forward, but be pushing back with that rear foot where you're getting that stretch in that calf. In this case, Your leg is going to be straight. Your knee is not going to be bent. Your rear leg, knee is not going to be bent. You're pushing into that. You're getting good stretch into the calf. When we get done with this one, I'm going to do a second one on both sides. So I think this is an important one that we get these calves stretched out and working for.
We're just going to do this because that's a little bit difficult.
Okay, let's switch back to the first side again. We're leaning forward. Rear heel is firm, pushed into the ground, pushing it back as hard as we can. And we're stretching that calf. We're stretching that calf.
And I've just got my legs out in front of me, tight, pulling my feet back and forth, stretching the calves that way.
Good adaptation for if you have to set, getting that calf moving. Who knows? You know, you may find as you get that calf strengthened when you're setting that your ability to stand may increase. Let's switch legs. Rear foot firmly, heel pushed into the ground, leaning forward.
So this time I'm going in and out.
Stretching the calf.
Still stretching my calves, but I'm going in and out movement. And I rested my legs in between so that they don't get too tired.
Okay, let's come to the upright position. Feeling great. Hydration, right? Keep the hydration going, very important.
Can I tell a quick story? I had a patient who...
While she's telling the story, let's all just kind of do some slow walking, okay? She's going to tell the story and we're going to listen while we walk. We're cooling down. We are cooling down.
When I used to do home health, I had a patient who couldn't move at all. She had such severe pain in her back and legs. And she finally had hip surgery, and it didn't relieve it completely because it ended up being the knees that were making the hip hurt. So she ended up having knee surgeries too. She was 89 and she couldn't walk at all, hardly at all. And by the time we got done with her, she was walking down the hallway in a walker. And to her, that was as good as any marathon. We were so proud of her for her 90th.
Well, it was probably more work, more achievement than a marathon for most people.
For her 90th birthday, she was able to go down to a resort where her entire family came and met her down there for her birthday party. This particular story is a really long story, and it's a very sweet story. It's in my book that I wrote, Voices from My Heart, which is all about seniors and the way they live their life.
Handle life.
Handle life, yeah. So it reminded me when you said you might be able to get up and walk later, is that the joy that we felt when she could go 100 feet down the hallway was a marathon for her.
We're not saying we can promise that for everybody, but we're saying for a lot of bodies, if you work at it, you can regain, you can regenerate.
Regenerate, don't degenerate.
I'm telling you, get it back. Don't lose it. Use what you got. Keep working at it until you get more of it back. So let's do some breathing now. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's do a few more of those. One more, one more. Okay, this was a good session. I've enjoyed it. It's got me going in the right direction. Very well done, I'm telling you. Thanks for being part of this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. Thanks for working at regenerating yourself so that you can be healthy. But also, you want to share this with others. Get other people involved. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Click on the little bell so you can get notifications every time we post and you can know about them.
And if you want to know how to eat breakfast the healthy hardiness way, look at Monday's hardiness approach
This coming Monday, what we're going to post about eating breakfast, you're going to really like a lot. It was a great breakfast we had today. So this is Jim and Renda with Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. Thanks for watching.